Greetings friends, this is Shay James. It's Monday, May 3rd, I think. Here I am visiting my FAE tree. Gather some white stones to send to a friend. This is where I put my camper. The campground will be open in 2 weeks, so I'm going to see about staying here. And here I'd have my campfire and orient my circle here clockwise. 10-point circle, by the way, not 12. And here's my beloved tree friend. Now it's the sort of phallic angle to the tree that gives it a bent, so it's not straight. The line of the tree isn't an absolute. That's the first key in choosing a FAE tree. Secondly, the diameter of the trunk, about 12 inches or larger. Seems to me to be a crucial component in choosing a gateway for elders or FAE people, or energy people as I sometimes call them. And the reason for that is this tree, although it's the same living thing as there is inside of a seed, an acorn, I think, then or a pine nut, then what happens is the astral component is larger within an adult tree. Secondly, an adult tree, I'm trying to understand this science better, but we as people alive here are more common as spirits than we are as souls inhabiting bodies. So a soul who's free floating or free moving may or may not choose to occupy the consciousness of a tree. I liken it's the same thing as you have a beloved cat or a dog that lives with you, and there's no difference in the consciousness except that the tree just doesn't move the same or communicate the same. Some friends on the internet have talked to me about trees coming to them in their dreams and helping them, and I would assume there's very few things that can harm the force of a tree. Look at the collective consciousness around me. Look at all my friends. Within this little valley area, there's 1 million trees. And they can feel my heart and my love, my intent. And so too can any entities who come to abide in this sanctuary place. This is a little trail that I started making last year before I needed to leave the campground. But this area in here would be perfect for a little recreation vehicle, or as a sanctuary place to go if the infrastructure falls apart and we all need to hike off into the bush. I'm going to take steps to make sure I've at least got a place where I know I can go. And I work my damnedest to work on the political and exopolitical end of it to make sure that doesn't happen. But all the same, here's a good place for myself, or where I'm looking at now is a 60-unit campground, and anybody can stay there for 2 weeks for free, all the way through the end of October. So people can choose to stay there or find other accommodations, but I would have an option if I lived in a big city right now. Back to the tree principle. So I've described that I've chosen a gateway, a tree. I've communicated with it in my rituals, in my thoughts, and in my heart. It becomes a totem, so to speak, that I have a memory key of, like, just putting my hand on it today. And so by doing that, I can key into this vibration and essentially the grace vibration of nature, which is pretty neutral. And so as you give out, you receive. these white stones then. I've used up all the round ones, but I'm trying to find round ones I can send to my female friends, because I associate the straighter edges with the male and the roundness with the female. And the white stone to me is of the Infinite Mother. I think for a time I was calling Infant Mother Gaia before I really understood that this is a Greek personification of a female deity, and I don't want to make that reference anymore to a concept of outward expression of the universe, which would include every one of the old deities and the deceptive people that seem to run our world with impunity at this time. So I found some round stones. Here's one I can put in an envelope. So this year should be an interesting year. We've never had so much rain in this town for decades. So we'll see what happens here in this area. It's usually quite hot here between July and September. It gets up to the hot spot in Canada at 40 degrees Celsius, around 100, 110 in the shade at the worst times. But down by the river you can drop 30 degrees off that, so you can have a nice cool spot if you can go to the water. Otherwise you have to be inside with air conditioning. So, in conclusion with the FAE tree, there's my beloved friend. I've seen monkey spirits, FAE tricksters hanging out in the tree. I don't know if it was my visualization